Yo guys, Y Football here, and today I'm talking about the news that recently came out from 90 Minutes that said Arsenal apparently have £250 million to spend this summer from Stan Kroenke. I'm not lying, 250 M's. I don't know where this has come from, because normally I'm not going to say we scrimp because we do spend money, but we always seem to buy 2 out of the 3 positions we need rather than all 3. But with 250 million, that's a lot of players and a lot of quality players we can sign. So I've got my iPad here, and got the 250 million pounds here. I'm going to talk about who I would buy and sell to kind of fund all our transfers this season. Now that I know, okay, we don't know the knowledge is true, but I'm assuming that it is true that Kroenke has signed off 250 million, and we have taken a loan from Barclays to kind of compensate some of this. Then I'm going to see who we would sign. So I've got the buy and sell section here. And there's going to be I'm going to keep it semi-realistic. I'm not just going to, we're going to buy Mbappe for 200 million. I'm going to keep it realistic. So I guess we start with the buy section. And one player I think all Arsenal fans want, every single Arsenal fan on planet Earth I've spoken to wants this player. Premier League proven, centre midfielder, still would work perfectly next to Partey, is Yves Bissouma. What a player, man. I released a compilation on him early on, 4 players I hope Arsenal would sign. He's like a box-to-box defensive midfielder. He can do both. He's strong with the ball. He tackles well. Jack of all trades in a way. Obviously, he's not really much of a shooter, but he ain't going to get you goals from midfield. But what he does do is he provides some steal, ball-carrying ability. He has everything in his locker to shield the back four. And next to Partey, that's a formidable defensive midfielding trio. I'd be more than happy for them to start games next season. Now, what we're looking at is around £40 million for him. So I guess that's the asking price. And if we could pay 40 million for Ben White, it's definitely possible we could pay 40 million for Yves Bissouma. But I'm going to overshoot it a bit, assuming Brighton want that, and I'm going to say 45 million pounds, which will bring this total price, if I can edit it, to 205 million pounds now to spend. So that the first player I'd sign is Yves Bissouma. We need a midfielder. That is a position we need the most out of all of them, I'd say. A proper strong midfielder, especially since a player I'm going to say selling is about to go who would have played midfield. So, and that player is Granit Xhaka. Now, would I personally sell him? I'm completely, I'm right. I hate sitting on the fence, but I am on the fence on this one, because do I think Xhaka's a starter for a team that wants to make the Champions League? No way, no chance. But do I think he's a squad player for a team that wants to challenge and win Champions League? 100%. I like some of the qualities he has. He is a leader. No matter what people say, he is a leader. He has leadership qualities. He's excellent with the ball at his feet. His passing ability, shooting ability. No one could doubt that he is a footballer. He has footballing ability. But he's mistake prone. He has a bit of a fuse. And I do question his consistency. I know he's been consistent last season, but can I trust this guy for a whole season? Not a month or 2 months, a whole season to not commit any mistakes. Or maybe commit 1 or 2 minor mistakes at most. I can't. He reminds me a bit of, he's definitely not as good right now, but he reminds me a bit of Jordan Henderson from Liverpool in terms of he's kind of like a glue piece, keeps the team together. But I'm keeping it realistic, and he's been said that we're going to sell him. And Roma are the most interested party. So I'm going to put him in the sell section, Granit Xhaka. And I'm going to say, if we can... So Roma paid 30 million. We won about 18, it said. He's had a decent Euro so far. If we can get... I'd love 20, but I'd be realistic. If we can get 18 million pounds or 17 million pounds, I guess that's what we have to take for him. It's at half of what we paid, but it is what it is at this stage. He's played some time. Hopefully he's paid off of the FA Cups and stuff. That's all I can hope for. So 17 million pounds for Granit Xhaka, which takes our total transfer kitty up again to 2200. Yeah, so that's one player in, one player out. Spent a net of 28 million, but it's improved our midfield considerably. Now we're going to move on to another position we definitely need, which is right back. I'm going to start with who we're going to sell first. Hector Bellerin. I hope all Arsenal fans can agree Hector Bellerin's time is up at Arsenal Football Club. He's had his time, he's had his chances, and I liked the player when he first came in. I remember he came in for the injured, was it Debuchy or something? I think it was Debuchy, because I think Sanyo had gone by then. He played in the Champions League against Dortmund, in Dortmund, which is one of the most intimidating stadiums on planet Earth. And he did his thing, and I thought we had a right back for life here. Obviously, he's had his injuries, it hasn't really worked out. It's unfortunate, but football moves on, time moves on, and I think he needs to move on from Arsenal Football Club, Hector Bellerin. So I'm going to put him in the sell section. Now, the money thing is a strange one, because knowing our negotiators is a sticky one. Because some clubs, I reckon, could actually get 25 to 30 million for Hector Bellerin. Like, it is possible to get that, because I feel like in another country, in like Spain or France, for example, he could do all right. I just don't think he's suited for the consistency of the Premier League, where you have to be on job all the time. Every game has to do something. In a game where in a season or in a country where you can kind of like not pick and choose your games, but you know what I mean. Some games obviously mean more than others. Not all games are of the same ilk that is in the Premier League. I feel like he will do much better. But with Hector Bellerin, I reckon we can get 20 million for him. I think it's 100% possible. I think a club out there will be willing to pay 20 million for him, not only for him, but for his brand as well. He brings some kind of advertising opportunities with him, brand, from a business point of view, which is football nowadays. It is a business, whether we like it or not. Hector Bellerin is an excellent addition to a squad. So I'm going to say 20 million pounds for Hector Bellerin, which actually means with those two sales, we're on 242 million. Wow. Okay. So that's Hector Bellerin out the door along with Granit Xhaka. And I'd say the addition that I would like, I don't know if it's realistic or not, but if we have the money for it, with not many right backs on the market, for me, the right back you get is Hakimi. If we have 250 million, as it says here, we have 250 million, you get Hakimi. Now there's Tariq Lamptey, who I would be happy with, and there's Matty Cash, who I would be happy with. But we've been given 250 million. And Hakimi has been linked to Arsenal in the past. Okay, not recently, but he has. And if it can happen, it's a transfer that must happen. The way Mikel Arteta wants to play with the overlapping fullbacks, with the Tierney, and it will be Hakimi just bombing up and down, he's perfectly suited. And I believe if we have someone like Partey and Basuma, he can cover for his defensive lapses. So Hakimi must come in for me. He has to come in. There's no doubt about it. I'd love to see him at Arsenal Football Club. The only problem now is the price. I'm going to overshoot a bit, and I'm going to say around £70 million. That is a problem. I wouldn't pay 70 million for him. I would pay, if I'm honest, I'd pay around maximum 50 million, because that's what they got. That's what Chelsea got Chilwell for, 50 million. I'd pay around that. So, but I'm assuming it's going to be around the 70. I'm going to put 65 million for Hakimi, and this is all in pounds. 65 million pounds, which is a massive, massive, massive hit to our transfer budget. Obviously, it still kind of keeps it going in like we've still got money to spend. Obviously, 17 million. I think that's right. Did I botch it? No, I think that's right. Okay. I hope my maths is on point. But yeah, we've still got 177 million to spend, but Hakimi's who I'd play, because we need to sell and buy better. That needs to be our plan. We can't just buy better. We need to sell and buy better, because that's how you improve. You sell upon the players that aren't good enough, and you use that money to buy players that are going to be better. Okay, so address centre mid, and we've addressed right back. Now, what do we need? We need a backup left back. Now, there's a few I'd go for here. I would go for Bertrand from Southampton, but the problem is that he apparently is fallen through. That would be a free transfer, but he's fallen through. Not much we could do. I'm going to still put him there because I would, and it's free. So, because his contract does run out. I think he's Premier League proven he'd be a perfect backup, to be honest. But if it's fallen through, it's fallen through. We haven't, I don't know, offered the right contract amount, playing time, whatever. We just need someone, a viable option. There's that Josh Dowie guy. He's from a Scottish team. I can't remember off the top of my head which one. He's also a viable option, but I wouldn't personally put him. But yeah, I'm gonna put Bertrand next. I'm not too sure right now, but that's who I would. If it's possible, I would get Bertrand. I love that as a left back option. He's viable, can do a job. Premier League proven. He's had the experience. Now let's go on to sell. Still looking at the back four, and I'd keep all the Leno and another person I'd buy is Matt Ryan from Brighton. That's who the backup keeper I'd buy. Yeah, Matt Ryan. He's looked good and he's an experienced player. He looks like a bit of a nice guy in dressing room. Can hold the team together a bit. I like his capabilities. I'm not sure how much he'd go for if his contract run out yet, but I'm just gonna shoot around the £7 million mark. I'd be willing to pay that for Matt Ryan, which brings our total down to 170. Sorry, and then the player I'd sell. He's actually one of my most best videos on this channel is on this player. It's Alex Renarson. It hasn't worked out for him. I did a comparison earlier which got about 5,000 views way early on in the season. I probably butchered his name. With him and David Raya, and in hindsight we probably should have got David Raya because Renarson has been a fail. It's sad to see because I never want to see a football player fail, whether that's at Arsenal or another club, but it's just one of those where it just hasn't worked out at all. He's played maybe 2 games and he looks like a League 2 player. I'm not even going to say Championship, I'm not going to say League 1, he looked like a League 2 player. Mahrez hit a free kick right at his hands and he literally it went through his hands. It's like he was the invisible man. Just not a good player. Honestly, I'd sell him for 1 million. 1 million. If we can get that, I'm probably even overshooting. He's probably free, but if we can sell him for 1 million, yeah, bro, I'd take it. It's that time of the season where I would take £1 million for him. Right, and sell also from the back four. I don't know if I would personally do this myself, but Mavropanos, I feel like he has to. His time's up, right? In terms of I don't know. We've bought Saliba. We've bought what's the geezer's name? We're looking to buy Ben White apparently. I feel like Mavropanos. It's unfortunate he's had a couple games. I feel like he has the makings of a good centre back, but I don't think he'll be at Arsenal. So Dino going to be sold. I think we can get like 50 million for him, but he hasn't had any really experience playing for us, so it's probably going to be around £8 million, to be honest, £8-9 million. So that's going to add to our budget once more. So that's 180. I can already tell it's going to be a long video because we're almost 15 minutes in. And we've just gone through the centre-backs. So yeah, that's the centre-backs I'd sell. I'd also sell, if we do sign Ben White, who I'm going to put, I'm not going to add it yet, but if we do, then I'd sell Holding as Ben. Obviously, he won't sustain the fee, but yeah, that's what I would do. Okay, we're going to move on to another position we really need, and that is a cam/left winger. We've been linked to Maddison, but if we have 180 million now, as I said, there's only one player that I'd buy with 180 million pounds budget, and that is Super Jackie Grealish. In my opinion, one of the best attacking players in the Premier League, without a doubt. He comes with the English tax, unfortunately, but he's worth the penny. Just the players he attracts to him will create so much space for other players on the pitch. He'd probably be a dream for Aubameyang, where he whips crosses in, etc. Takes on players. Tricky player. A player that will be worth all of the 85 million he'd probably be sold for. All of it. It brings our transfer budget down to 95 million, but it's worth it when you see what kind of player he is. Outstanding player, does the job, honestly, just does everything he can for the football club that he's Aston Villa is part of. He signed a new contract, which obviously will increase the price, but if you're a big club, you move like a big club and you sign the players that you need to take your club forward. And Jack Grealish is 100% one of those. Now, players that will go. Guendouzi, sad to see. I actually don't mind him. I think he's got the makings of a good footballer, which is his name there though. Guendouzi. But he's just got temperament issues. His mentality ain't all there. He's got a bit of an ego problem. we sell him. We can get 25 million for Guendouzi because his first season was amazing, but we won't sell him for that because clubs know he wants to go. The cards are not on our side of the table, the chips aren't on our side of the table, so it'll probably be a £10 million sell, which is sad because you definitely can get more for him, but it's the way it is with Guendouzi, so that's up to 105. 105, 123, 123. And then also it gives the opportunity for another player that, like Joe Willock, who can actually get some game time after his great period at Newcastle. Another midfield slash defensive winger, kind of like wing back, that I think it's been unfortunate is Jack. Let me just turn on Do Not Disturb. I don't want to see more AFTV notifications coming through. Is Ainsley Maitland-Niles. I think this one's been a bit of a learn your lesson for Maitland-Niles in terms of he had the opportunity to play wing back and he was complaining all the time, oh, I want to play centre mid, I want to play centre mid, I want to play centre mid. And then the comparison was Bukayo Saka, who got told to play left back when we were lacking none. He took it, he played left back, done his thing, and then once the options were free, he moved up the field and started playing winger, but still plays left back when needed. Does what he's asked, and now he's playing regular first team football for Arsenal Football Club. Maitland-Niles complained. He went out on loan to West Brom, and I think, if I'm honest, I just think that's his time up at Arsenal now. It is sad because, like a lot of the players on the list, I do think they can turn out to be great footballers. It's just I don't know if it will be at Arsenal. And with Maitland-Niles, if we can get £15 million for him, it's good. He can go. He can have a career somewhere else. Probably he's good enough for another Premier League club for sure. He did alright at West Brom, even though they got relegated. Yeah, that's Ainsley Maitland-Niles gone. So we've addressed midfield, cam / left wing, right back, backup left back, and backup goalie. Now, a player that I would sign, but I don't know if I'd sign right now, I would sign him right now, is Onana. Talked about him probably coming to Arsenal. His ban got reduced, so it only ends in November, but I will sell him and keep Leno for now. I'd sell Leno next season. Onana, 7-8 million pounds. I'm going to say around 10, just so we're overshooting because the ban got reduced. Just because I want to make sure it's not only realistic, but overshooting a bit, so there's no excuses that we can't get it done with the budget we have. It's a cut price for Onana, and that he's worth every penny if you're paying for that 10 million. So that's 6 in, 6 out. There's a couple more probably that we'd need to sell. In terms of strikers I'd sell, I would sell Lacazette. I know, some people love him. I do like him, but I feel like if we have the 250 million to spend, you can get a better player than Lacazette. Let's be honest, you can get a better footballer than Lacazette. We're probably not going to get a lot for him, maybe around £15 million, because he is aged, but he's at his time. And I'd like to see someone like Balogun get some minutes as well. So it's 125,000. And then looking at, I'm going to keep this kind of short, so I'm going to say, okay, and then players like Willian as well would sell, but that'll be for free. I don't think that needs much explanation. That'd be £1 million max. I'm just going to say free. He's that bad of a footballer. I'd literally just chop him off the block. And then that means players like Balogun get more minutes, etc. So the last player I would buy, meaning we've got 125 million left, so I'm actually going to leave with a surplus because I don't think we need more than this. The last player I would buy for Arsenal Football Club is, I saw him in the Euros, Isak from Sweden. I believe he's of Eritrean descent. Now, I didn't know much about him, but I watched him against Spain, and my God, what a player. The way he just got the ball and he just ran at the Spanish defenders. His ball retention was decent. He put on a plate, I think it was for Larson, and missed it. He's looking like a good footballer. Young, played for Real Sociedad, so from the Spanish league, it's a bit hit and miss, let's be honest. But I believe if we have the money and we're selling Lacazette, he's a young alternative. He's not going to be too expensive. I reckon we can get him for around 30 million. I'd love to see him as a backup striker to Aubameyang, and then Balogun is the third one. That's who I'd like to see come in. That'll bring it down to 95 million again. 90. But that would be all the incomings I'd make this season. And then obviously any additional players will be for selling like for like, kind of like Ben White, Holding, etc. Because bear in mind we have Saliba coming back. So yeah, that's the incomings. The last outgoing I'm going to say is Eddie Nketiah. I think his time is up at Arsenal. He's obviously a great poacher, the top under-21 scorer for England. But I'd rather see Balogun get the minutes, to be honest. Eddie's had his chance at Arsenal. Hasn't really taken it properly like Bukayo Saka took it at winger, at / left back. And I just think he needs to go to, he's definitely Premier League proven. I believe he could go to a great bottom table Premier League club and get some goals for him. Someone like a Brighton, who I believe are interested in him. I believe we can get around 15 million for Eddie, but if we package him as part of the Basuma deal, for example, then that would probably work in that favour. But £15 million, I believe it's a good. I mean, if Liverpool got 27 million for Ryan Brewster, there's no reason you can't get at least 15 for Nketiah, at least. But that puts our final up to 110. So after all the signings, I still have a profit of £110 million, or £110 million we still didn't spend out of 250, which means we spent a total of, let me just reduce this, £140 million. Didn't even need the 250 bags, or 250 M's. So yeah, that is who I would sign and sell at Arsenal with a £250 million budget. I didn't even use all the money, so I've got a spare. Very efficient. I just think it's time's up for some of these players. Players like Bellerin, Renarson, Mavropanos, Guendouzi, Maitland-Niles, Lacazette, Willian, and Nketiah. We can get rid of them and we can sign better players. We're not in Europe. We're not in the European football, so we can streamline our squad a bit. I'd probably sell a bit more than this, but I'm keeping it limited to like the main ones. I'm talking, I'd sell some like not the academy players, but some players that have just been at the club for so long that they just won't make it, barely even touch the first team. One of those ones, like, I'm not going to say not relevant because every player is relevant, but you know what I mean. But yeah, that's going to cap it off, guys. Let me know who you would sign and sell at Arsenal if you had £250 million in the comments below. I'd read all of them. But yeah, thanks guys for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next video.